Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crooked Hour. My ring light actually broke, so you're just on a stand right now, so I hope it ain't too bad, but you got a new angle. Still works, it just snapped off at the stand, so. But we're going to be doing how to bet both ways on Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. It's an intriguing matchup as a big Robert Whittaker fan. Like, I won't cap, I am a big Robert Whittaker fan, and Costa is a dangerous test for him, especially after his last matchup. I was thinking the worst person for Whittaker to come back would either be Costa or Jared Cannonier. I thought those were two nightmare matchups for him. Power punches, hard punches. Just in general, terrible matchups for him to come back to it, especially after his last performance. But I've seen some things from Robert Whittaker that do make me a little bit more confident in him. They do make me a little bit more confident in him, but either way, I think this fight can go either way. No pun intended. Going over the matchup a little bit, I think this is going to be an interesting fight. And the way I see it going down is, without picking a winner, the way I do see it going down is, I think it's going to be looking similar to early Dricus Whittaker, unless Whittaker's added more stuff to his game, which we'll talk about soon. I see him out in the open trading shots, but I see Costa not being as defensively sound as Dricus was when Robert fought him. I can see them both landing good shots, especially Costa's body kick. I think that'll be an attack for him here. Whittaker is good at blocking body kicks, but those big kicks on your arms will still hurt. I think Whittaker will be using his jab a lot, leg kicks a lot, making this a clean dogfight. You know, Costa will be trying to make it a dogfight, but Whittaker will be trying to make it a clean dogfight. He'll be trying to fight on the outside while still getting scrappy in moments, and that is scary for Whittaker, but I think he will hold his own. He'll hold his own enough, but Costa will be landing big shots in that moment, so that's the chance for Costa to land really nice shots on him. Will this fight go to the ground? I don't know, but I think Costa has great grappling, but I also think Whittaker's takedown defense might serve him well here. I think he'll defend a lot of the takedowns. Not many people do takedowns like Dricus. You know, he had a head and arm throw, I believe, and that was a very good takedown. So I think it's going to be a close one. Before going both ways, I think Costa will have to fight this fight dirty to win. I think you have to fight this fight dirty or land a big shot similar to Dricus has done. But when you look at Costa, he's not really knocking anybody out recently. His last knockout, I believe, was Yoel Romero, like 5 years ago. So he needs to make this fight dirty. He can't fight him similar to how he fought Vittoria. He's going to get picked apart. He needs to fight him a bit more aggressively than he fought Luke Rockhold. We need that Costa that fought Yoel Romero to beat Whittaker. And Whittaker, he needs to work on the outside. Work on the outside without relying too much on his blitz, because people have figured out his blitz. He can mix his blitz in there, sure, but he needs to figure out ways where he can use his blitz in between his distance striking. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited for it, but we're going to go straight to how to bet both ways, because I have some set ways to bet on both fighters, and I think that it's what I would be betting if I was on either way. And at the end of after I do how to bet both ways, I'll tell you my picks, so you know what bets I'm going to be doing. But I ain't going to give any spoilers. Coming on straight away to Robert Whittaker, I've upgraded this little graphic a little bit. We got safe picks and risky picks. So your safe pick obviously is Whittaker money line. I don't like doing money lines because it's a bit of a cop out, but they're realistic. You know, you want a safe bet. Whittaker money line 1.47, probably not enough to bet on, just a sole bet unless you're betting big, but could be a nice little parlay piece too, like throwing it in with Volk or Ilya, whoever you got in the main, or throwing it in with an earlier fight, maybe Marab, maybe Cejudo. It's a good pick that Whittaker, of what we've seen, is more likely to win, so for those odds they aren't bad, but I enjoyed the risky picks here. I do. Whittaker via KO. Now, line hasn't officially dropped for this yet, or not that I could see. So I put 3.30. It could be more, could be less. Could be 2.90. Could be up to 4.50. That's my guess. 3.30, Whittaker by KO. You might be like, Whittaker hasn't knocked out anybody for forever. And you are right. But I look a lot into recent interviews, and sometimes it chips me, sometimes it messes me up, fucks me up. But Whittaker's been saying he isn't looking to just have a decision fight here. He's looking for the KO. And I think in previous fights he hasn't said that. He's been saying, whatever I need to do to get the win, I'm expecting 3 hard rounds, dogfight, get my hand raised. That's what he said for Dricus, but this fight he's saying, every shot I'm throwing is going to be looking for a KO. I'm going in here to knock his head off. The goal, my game plan is to knock him out. So, with that said, if we do see a new Whittaker looking for knockout shots, Whittaker via KO for whatever the odds are going to be, just with that little insight, could mean nothing, but it could mean something. I think 3.30 isn't bad at all. So Whittaker via KO, not a bad bet. And then we get an even more riskier for the bigger profits, you know what I'm saying? So I got Whittaker via round 3 KO, via KO round 3 as I wrote. This is how I see it going down. If this bet does hit, I think it's going to be a gassed out, hurt. Both men are going to be sort of hurt if it hits round 3, I do believe. But Costa will be a little gassed, a little hurt, and Robert's going to be able to put together those blitz, those combinations, those shots. And if he's going with his game plan of looking for a KO, round 3 is where he might find it. Compared to the other 2 rounds, unless he lands a flush shot, round 3 is where he might land it, where he might get Costa, where he might KO Costa. So that's why I have round 3 KO. I said 10, could be less, could be more, but I see it being from anywhere from 6 to 11 maybe. 10's a bit on the higher end, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10. But yeah, they're my picks for Rob. I think if you want to go the risky side, obviously you playing it a bit more risky. If you want to go on the safe side, believe in Rob, think he's got what it takes. Money line. Another one that I wouldn't really pick, but I thought it was a good bet, is Whittaker via round 3 or KO. If your book has that, that's also not a bad bet, because that's covering this bet and sort of this bet, you know. I doubt he's going to get a sub. But moving on to Costa. Paulo Costa, the secret juice man himself, meme lord. Paulo Costa in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. Safe picks. You'd be expecting a money line, but no, I got Costa via KO TKO. He could win a decision, but it's very much more likely he's going to win by TKO KO, especially after Whittaker's last performance. Like, getting hit by that shot and dropping the way he did, I could see Costa landing a similar shot and putting him out in a similar way to what Dricus did. So I think that's his best chance, you know, landing the good shot, wobbling Whittaker, and finishing him off, because Paulo Costa knows when to sense a finish. He knows when to end a finish, he knows when to sense a finish, and he knows the right things to do once he hurts somebody. So that's dangerous. If Whittaker does get wobbled, Costa's a dangerous man to get wobbled by. So I think that's the safest pick for Costa for the odds. Like, I reckon it'll be about 3.20. Could be less, could be more. But Costa via KO, I like that more than the money line. Chances he's going to win by decision are decent, but they're not enough. And I can't see him subbing up Whittaker. And then risky picks. Costa via TKO KO round 1. That's meant to say 8.00, not 800. But I see Costa, if he does KO him, more than likely going to be in the first or early second round. So just for those odds, if you want to throw a little bit on Costa via KO round 1, it might pay off. It might not pay off. I mean, it'll probably be 40-60% that it actually hits, like 40% it hits. But he's got a decent chance of doing this, you know. If he fights Whittaker like he fought Yoel Romero, which he may just do, you know, then he could get it done early. You know, we had Dricus in having Robert in issues or in all types in the first round. So who's to say Costa won't do that? So I thought that was a nice little risky pick to throw in there. Costa via TKO KO round 1. If you want to get on the real risky side. And then I have odds. Prop bets, sorry. Safe pick, fight to start round 2. Although I said Costa may KO him in the round 1. If he doesn't, if Whittaker's looking sharp like he looked like when he fought Vettori and Izzy, there's little chance he's going to get knocked out in the first round. We need to see a Whittaker from the Dricus fight to see him get knocked out like that. But I think more than likely this safe pick does hit for the fight to start round 2. And I put 1.40, but the odds are probably going to be even lower. I ain't going to lie to you. It's probably going to be like 1.30, 1.20, 1.15 even. Like, the odds for a fight to start round 2 are shit. It's a nice little thing to add to your parlay if you're playing it safe. And then risky picks. Fight to end by TKO KO. As you've seen, in both picks, I had Costa winning by KO, Whittaker to win, possibly by KO. I think this is a good fight for the chance for a KO to happen, especially if Whittaker is looking for the KO. Because if Whittaker's looking for the KO, more of a chance he's going to leave himself open at times. More of a chance he's going to be searching for that KO, and he could get KO'd himself. But on the other hand, he might just KO Costa. So that's a nice little bet. I reckon it'll be at about 3.00. Might be good just to throw a little bit on. Just so to recap before I tell you my pick. Whittaker moneyline 1.47. Risky picks. Whittaker via KO. I'm suggesting it's going to be at 3.30. Whittaker via KO round 3. Going to say it's around 10.00. Safe picks for Costa. Costa via KO, TKO. Thinking it's going to be about 3.20. Risky picks for Costa. Costa via TKO, KO round 1. I'm just going to say it's at around $8. Prop picks. Safe picks. Fight to start round 2. I'm going to say it's at about 140. And risky picks. Fight to end by TKO, KO at about 3.00. So, now we got all that out the way. Who is my pick for this fight? Who is my pick between these two gentlemen? I'm going to go Rob, man. I'm going to go Rob. But it is a scary fight. I'm not going to cap like it's not a scary fight. But seeing his interviews recently, he seems to have a new hunger. Seems like he's going to be going in looking for the KO. And that could work against him. But I like that from Whittaker. That's what you want to see from Whittaker after his last fight. You don't want to see Whittaker coming in saying, oh, you know, it was a bad fight. I just want to get through this fight. Just want to try and get a decision win, outpoint him. Like, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear somebody who's saying, no, I want to come back and KO this motherfucker. Like, that's the type of shit you want to hear. So, I think Whittaker's going to be able to outpoint him and maybe get a 3rd round KO. But I honestly do think it probably goes to decision. But I do like the chances of a KO. And me, myself, will be betting on KO. Although I do think decision's more likely. I think KO is more exciting. And the money's there. So Whittaker via KO is my official pick. I'm going to say round 3 KO after a bit of a sloppy fight. Whittaker winning both 2 rounds. Maybe has some tough moments where he does get hit by a big shot or a big kick. But I'm hoping he has the chin to survive. That's banking on if he has the chin to survive. So I'm going Whittaker. Should be a good fight. I'll break it down more in my picks show, which will be coming out soon. And yeah, this has been How to Bet Both Ways on Whittaker vs Costa. I'll be having Alex vs Volk coming up soon. Alex vs Volk. Volk vs Ilya coming up soon, so look out for that. And as always, guys, have a good one.
Give me 5 minutes, I'ma pull up with like 5 niggas. Give me 5 minutes, girl.